realized this man is not clothed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so.
At what point did you realize that?
But we're like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How do you guys keep them from going buck wild, or do you let them like Skylar eat 50 pounds of candy? So glad you have the kids. No, but.
They're so silly.
Litters.
Yeah, they're silly. Okay.
I know, I was teasing Leonard about that.
They're so silly.
I'm way too much fun in the mornings.
Right? Are we on?
Always thinking like I'm gonna look at my phone real quick, and my phone's right there.
Are we on?
Yeah.
Oh, hi guys. I never know.
Hey, everybody.
I never know when we're really on or not.
Hurry up, Skylar. We got like 40 viewers, and you're all waiting on you.
Let me make sure.
No. You don't want to close that, because then we got the, hey, Skylar. You don't want to close that, because people coming in now.
In case somebody comes in, you got to be our lookout.
I know, right?
Oh, Kashanta.
Yeah. Hey, girl.
All right, we're at a 52,000 views. All right.
Sounds good. Hey. All right, let's do this.
Okay.
Time to rant. Rant.
Okay.
Now, you know what? This is like lunchtime. We should change it to lunchtime conversations. I don't think we're ranting enough.
No, we're not really
Yeah,
ranting.
no.
It's not a rant.
We are, but it is what it is. But anyways, Skylar, how you doing today, man?
I'm good.
All right, I get a little beard thing on, man. You growing anything out?
Yeah.
God, man. Look at that. Like the handlebars coming down. I like that. Today we're talking about Skylar's beard. All right.
It's a goatee, people.
Oh, a goatee.
Goatee, it's fancy. So, anyways, it's almost Halloween, and time for the kids to go out there and eat candy. And I just want to see like what you guys are doing with your kiddos. And I remember as a kid, we'd go and get these like pillowcases, like full of candy. We'd all like, fill them all up and everything, and we would just destroy candy. We would just be there just destroying it until we just got sick, and we'd eat more and just destroy it. And then I know for a little while people were scared because people were putting things in candy. You know, I mean, I don't know, weird stuff. So then, like, our parents, like, we get the candy, but they wouldn't let us eat the candy. They buy like a whole separate pot of candy. Weird, you know.
Like, we'll give you the experience of trick or treating.
Well, Halloween has changed a lot. I mean, a lot of people are not like into it like they used to be. It used to be like, I don't know, more
You used to just let your kids like go.
Yeah.
Like I remember being a kid and my mom would be like, "Bye, have fun." Like it's dark out, and we would just go trick or treating all by ourselves. I was like maybe 7 or 8 years old. I had a stepbrother, and so he would take us around the neighborhood, but half the time he would leave us. Like, like we would go and trick or treat and do our thing, and then like you said, we'd have the big bags, and we would just be eating as we walked along. Like we'd get candy and then come home, and we'd have tons of candy. And my mom was never like, she never had really any rules about the candy. It was just like after so long, if it sat around too long, then she'd toss it out. But she didn't really have any rules back then. No. And then, like you said, you know, people did start doing that. So then it became, well, let me check the candy. Before you eat the candy, let me check the candy. And then you can have it. So it was like that. So, but what do you do with your kids?
They're like, what's Halloween, Dad?
You know what? You know what?
My mom go to church. That's what we do.
My mom used to do that. Let me check it. And then when I got older, I was like, wait a second. You're just using that as an excuse to eat my candy.
You know the good ones, right? That's what I do. All the dark chocolate is mine.
Yeah, I caught on to that.
Yeah?
No, you know, it's kind of weird, too, because what we know today, that what sugar does to not just like your bodies, but to the kids, right? Like, I'm one of those guys, I truly believe that if you have a lot of sugar in your diet, I think it does lead to what we like to label kids with ADHD and all that other stuff. I think it leads to certain diseases and everything. Like kids with at a younger age are getting impacted in it. So I am very strict. I kind of take my parents' old philosophy. Huh? I know, never would have guessed, right? But I do let them get I let them get the experience. They get to go with the candy, and then I allow them to pick like a handful, just a couple of their favorite ones, and then the rest is gone.
Oh, you're not.
Rest,
boo!
That is what it is.
This is what I would do. I don't have.
You don't pay their dental bill. You don't know.
This is what I would do. I don't have kids, but I would say. Because, you know, I wouldn't have my kids eating candy anyways. But I'd be like, Halloween, this is the one time where you can binge as much as you want because you're not getting it but once a year. That's what I would do.
Give me some on that, Skylar. I agree. Okay, so when baby JoJo comes, I'm gonna be taking.
Handle as much crack as you want tonight. You can't have no more crack on our crack.
We won't tell. No, but what I do, and it is bad, but you know, it is once a year. It's Halloween, so I take them to my mom's neighborhood. First of all, she has the best neighborhood. All the neighbors sit in their garages and they hand out candy to all the kids. And people literally come by the truckload and bring their kids from other neighborhoods to go in my mom's neighborhood. It's really fun. So they get their candy and then they'll sit in the garage and they'll pick through the candy. So my rule is this: eat as much as you want. You got 1 week. Eat as much candy as you want. We usually sort through like the garbage that they don't like, throw it away. I get all the dark chocolate. They eat as much as they want. I guarantee you, it happens to both my kids. They make it about 3 days in, and then they don't even want the candy anymore. It just sits there in a bowl, and then it goes in the trash after a week. Yeah.
Have you ever had those trolls who put toothbrushes in?
Oh, that's my sister. She was a dental hygienist, and she dressed up like the tooth fairy one year. Yeah. And so she walked around handing out the little toothpastes and toothbrushes
I got one
to
of
all
those.
the kids.
Yeah.
But she was very cute about it. She was dressed up really cute, like a real tooth fairy. It was pretty
It
darn
was expected.
cute.
It was expected.
It was pretty darn
Trick
cute.
or treat. It is trick or treat.
Right. So so that's what I do. I know that's like really. That's probably bad parenting.
I'm gonna do that one day now.
I'm curious to know what you guys do. What do you guys do?
Yeah.
Like
Go
Skylar.
I'm gonna go read your comments
Read your
out.
Skylar would actually binge, or he would allow his kids, if he had some, to binge for that entire night, and then that's it. That's the one day.
No, that's not what I said.
Not for the night?
You get to binge until all the candy is gone. Not just for that night.
Oh, come on, get out of here, man.
But you only have that for the whole year. You're not eating candy.
But what if your kid comes home with 2 pillowcases full of candy?
Yeah, I did that. When I was trick-or-treating, I had a pillowcase. It was over 50 pounds. I think it was like 60 pounds.
God.
But see, I was smart. I went to a rich neighborhood because we didn't live in a rich neighborhood.
Candy is candy.
But the rich neighborhoods, this is a secret. The rich neighborhoods, the rich neighborhoods give out way more candy.
Okay, and I get that. Okay. But I'm saying that's a lot of candy. We're talking about 50 pounds of sugar.
I kind of do the same thing.
I was fine.
I kind of say, I know it's really bad, but at the same time, I'm just like, if you can eat 50 pounds worth of sugar, go ahead. They usually stop because they're like, you know what? This isn't even good anymore. I don't even want it.
Yeah, you like, burn yourself out.
My stepbrother used to work at Baskin Robbins. Yeah. That was his first job. And so the lady that owned it, she would tell all the employees, and back then you got to realize it was early 80s, right? She would tell all the high school employees, have as much ice cream as you want. Eat as much as you want. After about a week, they didn't want to touch that ice cream. They had nothing to do with it. They had all 31 flavors and then some, and they were like, okay, forget it. The ice cream is horrible. I don't want to eat it. We would ask him to bring ice cream home to us, and he'd be like, oh.
And plus, if your kid's really healthy and working out like that, then they'll eat it, and they'll be like, I don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong. I know as a child I didn't have restrictions like I do for my kids, but I feel like I have grown and I have learned. My parents were wrong. They were foul for that.
I know.
Torturing me with all that candy.
You are better.
Tortured me with that.
but then I think you take it to the other extreme.
Maybe.
So then your kids will grow up and be the perfect balance.
They still get to participate in the festivities.
I know, that's good.
They get to dress up. I buy them with the cosmetic one.
That's why they have the Pitalala.
That's right. I know, right? I know. They just sneaking it. And I do feel like maybe sometimes I am a little hardcore on them, but then it's for their
own good. I do the same thing throughout the year. I think I'm the hard one in my house because I'm always like, you shouldn't eat that. Well, let's have this instead and more vegetables.
I just feel like if we're in a culture where adults and children are at an all-time high for obesity, heart disease, and diabetes.
You're right.
I feel like if I teach them that stuff like this is okay, I feel like I'm feeding into the culture that we've grown to know today, which is a very unhealthy one, a very unstable, unhealthy culture.
I feel like
Yeah, binge and purge, right?
It's
It's the purge.
What'd you say?
The binge and purge.
Right. So I feel like I'm doing my part as a parent. Like I teach them, like,
Comments.
I hate the word moderation, but I teach them how there are limitations. Like limit yourself, have a little fun, but you don't need to eat a whole bunch of candy to enjoy the holiday, right?
Yeah, you're right. You're all right.
But I'm not saying I'm wrong. I'm not saying I'm completely right on my methods, because it is probably, my kids probably look at the kid next door like, dang, like, your dad's
then
cool.
the other thing,
I'm not the cool dad anymore,
The other thing could be is that, now I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it could happen. It's just like if you tell them no now when they're a kid, when they're adult, they're like, oh heck, I can't wait to be on my own because I'm going to just eat whatever I want, and I'm going to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, my kids don't get that stuff throughout the year very often.
Yeah.
So I kind of allow them, on the holidays, I let them have it. Like, I think we had a talk before, we were talking about how it seems like all the time kids are getting, like, there's always a birthday, or there's always a fast food, or there's always something, like it's all the time, like every single weekend.
Yeah.
It's not a treat anymore.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. That's
It's
why I
not
say
a
it should
treat.
be. That's why
Well,
with
you
my
about 50 pounds. That's a whole year's worth.
That's
right
why
there,
with
man.
my theory, it's a.
You're
but
a
look, you
savage.
whip. But look, no, but
You
look,
can't babysit my kids.
I can tell you though, like if you never eat sweets and then you binge, trust me, you'll burn out. Like
You will.
before I got to my end, I was like, I'm done.
You will. But if you binge on anything, I mean, yeah, you're gonna just give up the need. I guess I know parents used to take kids that smoke cigarettes. And you're
yeah.
gonna smoke the whole
No,
cart
they don't do that.
till you don't.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, and that, like with me with alcohol, being a young adult, I would drink, but there was no breaks, and now that's the whole big reason why I don't drink beer anymore, is because I drink to the point where I'm like, my mind says like it disgusts me. Like,
Right.
just the thought of beer.
That's how I feel about tequila.
Yeah.
I was like, had a couple tequila binges, and then after that, I was like, you know what? It's no fun waking up in the bathtub.
All that stuff that comes out.
Right?
It's
It's just
was that
not
supposed to come out
fun
of me?
feeling horrible for a week. Why am I doing this?
Yes.
No more. That ended in my 20s.
So,
Now, I will say something that I never binge drink. I physically can't because I never drink alcohol. So if I drink alcohol one day, and then like let's say I drink like a month later, then I'll be like, okay, that's it for the whole year. Like I'll go years and years without drinking anything. Then when I do, it's like I can only do it because my body's not used to it.
Yes, exactly.
But people who drink on a regular basis, then it's like, oh, this is nothing.
Right.
So-
And
Really
the same goes with me with like candy and anything else. Like it's just so hard.
because the control factor. But if there's a child that eats candy,
all the time.
Yeah,
So
that,
that's
yeah.
kind of the point.
Yeah.
That's kind of the point. Is like they don't get it all the time.
yeah.
So when Halloween comes and their like eyes are this big, oh my god, I got all this candy. I'm like, go for it.
Yeah.
Then they're like, after a couple days, like the
Yeah.
first day, of course, they're going hog wild.
Yeah.
The second day, they're pretty excited. By the third day, they're like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
But
as great
the real
anymore.
key is keeping your child in hard exercise, like always, where their metabolism is always going. They're always running. They're always being active.
That's tough.
That's important.
It's important. It is tough. I mean, it's tough because I feel like we're busier now in today's time than I think of anytime I can think back to, because we got the internet, we got cell phones, we got these high power vehicles. It's like everyone wants us. They want our attention. Everything's pulling us in different directions. And oh, by the way, I got kids. And you keep them in sports for so long, but these sports are so expensive.
I was gonna
these days.
say,
God.
we pay so much. Football is expensive. Now, if you have a daughter, I don't have daughters, so cheer. If you're paying for cheer, you are an awesome parent because that stuff is expensive. Cheer is
Cheer
like
is no joke.
it's like
cheerleading?
$1,000 for
Yeah.
them to be in cheer.
Like I could
So-
buy pom-poms from 99-cent store.
But back
No,
in the
it's more
day,
than that. It's more.
but when I was a kid, pretty much was free.
Yeah,
It was pretty free.
it's supply and demand. The more people want it, the higher they're gonna.
I think it's grown
We
drastically
didn't
over the
pay.
years.
I don't
yeah.
remember that. We didn't pay for sports when we were kids. It was like there's every park had a sport or they had something going on. The school had something going on. But we played outside. We didn't have the video games and the phones and stuff. So even if you were in an organized sport, you were outside playing.
Yeah. Well, and cheer has evolved a lot because it went from just like something to do on the sideline while your big brother plays football to like now it's competitive.
Right,
cheer.
right.
So now it's like a sport, you know.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It is a sport. I have a couple of friends who their daughters do it, and I'm like, dang, those little girls are awesome.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I mean, if I had a daughter, I'd put her in church too. I'd sell a kidney to get her to do it. It looks amazing. They're having a great time. They're getting a lot of physical activity, but the price is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. Kids don't get any kind of physical activity outside of what we pay for. They should be out there.
Right, and that's absolutely right, because people are, parents are working. If you can afford it and to put them in those sports, how are you going to get them there?
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's hard for parents to do that. I mean, my husband and I, we kind of like break our neck to get to football and to soccer and shuffle our schedules, and it's a lot of work to get them to do those activities.
We're partially to blame. I think like as parents, like I hear it all the time. Parents are like, oh, when we were kids, we were all the time. These kids are so lazy. I think parents, we were very protective
we
these
are.
days. With good reason. I mean, information is more abundance. Yeah, there's more information out there of what could possibly happen. I mean, could you believe coming home and you don't see your child?
Yeah, it's scary.
So it's kind of like that balance. It's like, I want you to go outside. I want you to be active, but not unless I'm home.
Well, you know what? You're right, because we got this new little puppy, and so he can finally go outside, and we've been talking about it. Oh my God, excuse me. Oh my gosh, I can't wait till he can go outside. We can put him on a little leash, and you guys can take him for walks. So this last week, he's been able to go out, and so Joseph and Mason are taking him out and walking him around the block, and I kid you not, like, I'm a nervous wreck.
Yeah.
If I look out there and I don't see them, where are you? Where are they? I'm calling him on his phone. Where are you? Mom, we're just down the street. We're okay.
Yeah.
But I'm nervous, and then Joseph comes home and tells me there's some guys in the park that have like these big pit bulls, and they're saying you can just put the puppy down, it's okay. And I was like, don't put my puppy down. Don't do that, So
our dogs haven't ate yet. Don't worry.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So there's always a fear, like. With this generation, like my older children, I would like go outside, go do whatever you want. Yeah. I didn't check on them. I mean, they didn't have cell phones. I literally didn't check on them.
Yeah.
If I didn't hear from them after a couple hours, I keep my head out the door, like, oh, what y'all doing? But now, and they would take off. They get on their bicycles and ride miles to their friends' houses or do whatever. I would never. I mean, and we have a really close park to our house, and I'm like, oh, I'm just not comfortable with that.
Are we justified in that though? Are we justified?
No, why are we so afraid? Like I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Just to let them.
I think just because we're more aware. I think we're just more aware of the threat that's out there. Where I think back then, like the internet wasn't that big,
Right.
The internet is still young. The internet is still young, because I still remember being, I think like in high school, like. It was just getting popular. It was just starting to gain traction and all that. But it's so young still, and but the information is just so much more abundant.
Well, as a kid, as a little girl, I remember, and this is like probably late 70s. I remember there was a park I used to walk my dog to, like pretty far. Walk down, play with some girls.
70s.
Hush. And so there was a friend of mine who lived right next to the school, and a man stopped me and her and wanted to talk to us and ask us where the Kmart was. Well, that was very close, like within a block of where we were at. And so we're little girls, and we're telling him where the Kmart is, and we realize this man is not clothed.
Oh.
Yeah. And so
at what point did you realize that?
But we're like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think, if I remember correctly, we kind of froze in our tracks, kind of like looked at each other, and then we ran up to the house of where the little girl that we were going to her home, knock on the door, and the mom lets us in, and they call the police. They look for the guy. Yeah.
Wow. Where was your parents?
My parents were at home or working or something, who knew? And then in that within a couple weeks, my dad, he's a fireman, one of the other firemen's daughters got taken out of that same neighborhood and drove around for a whole day, and who knows what the guy did to her. Dropped her off at the Kmart, gave her money for ice cream at the store, and she called her parents. He gave her money to call her parents.
Wow.
Yeah, back then. So I think that's when my heightened awareness, but even so, I still let my older kids go out, and maybe it was because they're boys.
Yeah.
And for me, that was something that happened to little girls.
Yeah.
Now, you as a parent, you hear about those things happening to boys, or they always have happened to little boys. It just wasn't as, out there for us to know about.
Exactly.
And so, there's weirdos out there.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're like weirdos everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, as a parent, we're afraid. We're just like afraid. Like, I will tell them, I want to send Mason outside the other day to play because he was driving me freaking crazy.
Yeah.
He's 6. He's bouncing off the walls. I was like, go outside and play. Like, and my husband says, well, are you gonna go sit out there with him? And that's coming from him, where he's usually just let them go be boys, you know.
A man's man.
He said, no, you got to go sit out there with them. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, that's right. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
So I have to sit on the steps with him while he rides his bike up and down the street. You know, that never would have happened when I grew up. My mom would have been like, bye.
Yeah.
And still after that incident, my mom was didn't say, you guys stay in front of the house.
No.
She didn't curb where I went or anything.
No. No.
I wonder if there's any kind of statistics where now that we're more protective, there's less things happening to kids, or if it's the same. It's the same.
That's
rate.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, but I think the number will be kind of skewed because now we know more, so the rate might be higher because we know more about it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think so too. It's just
Yeah.
our information is more. We have more information.
How would it
coming
go
towards
up
us.
because we know more?
Because you're more aware of
You're
it.
more
So
aware.
there's more reportings.
Right.
You know. Like yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like let's take like sexual assault for example, right?
Oh, okay.
A lot of women would report on the bosses way back in the 70s, but like nowadays it's even more abundant. Maybe not so much. I think people are more apt to step up. There's more avenues for you to report it.
Right.
Yeah. So like I think.
So since it's Halloween and we're talking about this, so this is my conundrum, you guys. I have an 11-year-old. He's a really good kid, and like I said, we go trick or treating in my mom's neighborhood, which is right next to my old neighborhood where I used to live. It's a nice neighborhood, and some of his friends from the old neighborhood, they've been begging me since last year.
Yeah.
To let Joseph go trick or treating with them.
Yeah.
Without just them, just the kids.
Just the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not ready for that.
Be a
guys
stalker.
how- it
Be a
depends.
stalker.
How
Just sit back and just drive behind them.
How old is the oldest kid though?
I think the oldest kid in the group is 13.
Oh yeah, I think that's good as long as you know they're going to stay in a certain area, right?
You think?
Well, it depends. Is it confined or is it just you don't have any idea?
No. It's within an area.
I personally would say yeah.
I think boys gotta be able to be boys.
Yeah.
And hang out with their friends and not feel like their parents over their shoulder.
Okay, mommies, help me.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
scared.
if you said he was the youngest, I'd be like,
But the good thing about technology, the good thing is you can put a tracking app on his phone.
Oh yeah, we
You
do
know
have
if you left the neighborhood,
FaceTime.
there you go. And you're like, oh boy, hold on, you left the neighborhood. You
That's true. I didn't think
You
about it
can
like
track-
that.
I don't think that he would do that. The biggest concern, obviously, is you're talking about like something happened. But if it's a group of boys, they all have cell phones now in today's
Yeah,
time.
that's true.
Nothing's really, and then they're in a neighborhood where there's all these other people around.
Yeah,
They're
you're
not
probably
by
right.
themselves.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
I'm nervous, you know.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
And you know what though? This is a chance to prove to you that the whole
Yes.
trust factor.
Yeah, that's true.
Tell them you messed this up. You're never getting this again.
I
Right.
trust you till you give me a reason not to.
And
man.
what's crazy about it is, like I said, I think I was probably 7, 8, 9. And I know my stepbrother. Gary, if you're watching, I know you used to leave us. I remember and hide behind bushes, and yeah, you were mean. Take our candy and stuff.
Yeah.
Because he was supposed to take us trick-or-treating all around. He would take us like to a few houses and he'd be like, okay, bye. I mean, you back here in a little bit. He'd go off with his friends. Well, he was a lot older, you know. He was a teenager.
He was trying to walk y'all around.
Right, he was.
Like, whatever, y'all. See
You
ya.
and your friends can do it yourself.
Right. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I got this, I can't say love-hate relationship with sugar because I just don't like it, but I understand that kids love it.
Mm-hmm.
I understand what it does for children.
Well, adults love
I
it.
do understand. You know, and like, I try to get creative every year. I try to think of a different way. Like, well, maybe if I bake things with her and let's just stick us a little sweet, you know, kick. We say, you know, like junk, you know, coming from the candy. So, try to think different ways. The good thing is, you know, my little girls aren't the biggest junk food eaters. Maybe it's because I just train them not
That's
to be.
why.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, that's
They're
what
not.
I'm saying.
So
You
that's
don't
why
even
I'm
start
saying
craving
if it's
it.
Christmas, if it's that's a whole
Almost
nother,
there, yeah.
that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
But it's Halloween and they know it's Halloween. Like for us growing up, there ain't nobody's having a birthday around here. You don't need no cake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, when
Like,
I was a kid, I didn't even know cake existed except for
a birthday, right? So I didn't either. Like you didn't
Special
get
occasions,
you didn't get no
birthdays,
cake unless it's somebody's birthday.
Yeah. Now it's just like they just have it. Like
Right.
Yeah,
So
it's
now-
so strange.
It's
It's so strange now. Cake is just a normal thing you eat.
Right. We have Fat Fridays. Just like you have Fat
Yeah.
Fridays. You know, we
I
have
do
Fat
have Fat
Fridays.
Fridays.
We have
I
Fat
do.
Fridays. So,
it's
but growing up, we didn't have that. My brother, again, my stepbrother, he worked at Burger King at one point too. see if they had those little fast food jobs
Yeah.
that we were going at. And I remember my parents used to go out maybe once a month on date night, and he would ride his bicycle to work, and then when he would get off his shift, he would bring home Burger King to us, and we would have Burger King once a month. It might not even been once a month.
Oh, yeah.
It was that rare.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was really rare. But we were so excited to get it
Yeah.
because we never got to have that stuff.
Yeah.
It was
treat was literally
it was
a treat back then.
literally a treat.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally get it. And like, even my Fat Fridays these days are kind of sad, because like I'll have like one bad thing, but I'm like, I'm not doing dessert because I already had one bad thing on my plate, So
yeah.
no one would like my Fat Fridays.
They'd be like, Fat Friday, this looks like a diet.
I feel so bad for Lynn. Lynn's like, come on, man, live a little.
She can have anything she wants right now.
She can. Yeah, she lets me know.
So your Fat Friday is broccoli.
Don't even do it.
Your Fat Friday is broccoli, but with real butter.
I'll have, I know, right? Yeah. I'll have bad stuff. Like I'll eat like I said, like a plate of pasta, whatever. But then I won't get dessert.
Yeah.
Or I'll eat something healthy for dinner, but then I'll get the dessert. So
Yeah.
I'm very bad at Fat Fridays. I'm not.
Pasta is your bad food?
Yeah, that's
Oh my gosh.
not what I eat.
I know,
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same. My bad food, and is it really bad? Is sushi bad?
Not really. I mean, yeah, you got like a lot of white rice, right? So
Mhm.
the white rice is probably like the worst part. Well, then Americanized sushi is so much different than you get sushi overseas because
Mhm.
we got all those sauces and all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
They don't do that overseas.
Yeah, I know. That's
They-
what you guys said.
yeah.
Plus,
Something
my
like that.
sister actually is in the military, went to Japan, and not only that, the actual quality. In fact, she was saying that half the things that's in our sushi isn't even what they claim. Like, she was like, "Oh, the sushi is authentic over there."
Well, cause sushi here they have a lot of imitation, like
Yeah, everything's imitation.
Cream cheese. They don't put cream cheese in it.
Oh, I don't eat
It's
cream
a
cheese.
ball of rice and a fish slapped over it.
I don't even think
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
even think our rice is real. I
That's
think
not
our
the kind of sushi I eat, and I don't. And deep fried sushi is against my religion. That is like not real sushi. Okay, cream cheese in your sushi. That's not real sushi. Okay, that's not real
No,
sushi.
it's not.
Do they do
It's
that
just
in Japan?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But I
then
mean,
it's
I
not
do
real.
like the mixed fit, whatever the
Yeah,
fish
yeah,
is, and
yeah.
then the rice, and and so I have that. But I have it once a week.
Yeah.
And but I don't eat as much of it. I don't eat a lot of it. Like I don't like go crazy. And now I'm like, I don't even. Why do I get the all you can eat? I can only eat like 2 rolls, and I'm like,
You're done.
I'm done.
Yeah,
That was a waste
yeah.
of money.
It's that thought, like I have no restrictions.
I'm so hungry right now, and I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah.
excited to have this. you
Eyes
know?
are bigger than your belly.
Right? And so I never can eat it all. So, and then if we ever go out to a restaurant where I know they have really good dessert, I'll order my dessert, and then usually my husband and I will share.
Yeah.
The last couple times I've ate 2 bites and been like, okay, I'm done. I just wanted to taste it.
Yeah.
Before I would have tore it up.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, my husband and I used to go to Red Lobster. That was our spot.
Yeah.
I was pregnant with
The
Joseph.
biscuits.
Yep. I was pregnant with Joseph. We would eat those biscuits till we were full.
Yeah.
We'd get the salad. We'd both get an appetizer. And don't touch my appetizer because
Yeah.
you got your own. And we would eat our appetizers. Then we'd get the entree. We'd eat all that.
Yeah.
Then we'd each get a dessert. And we would eat all that. I don't even know how we walked out to the
I know. I saw someone posted a joke on Facebook, and it was about like American family. So you having dinner with American family. Like they had like this father and 2 kids. Took them out to eat, and they were reading menus. And then like the little kid was like, hey Dad, what's the appetizer? And then Dad responds, well, it's the meal before the meal.
Yep.
And then the other kid was like, oh, well, what's dinner? And then like, well, that's the meal. So what's dessert? Well, that's the meal after the meal. It's
Right?
like-
We would eat so much.
So many meals.
How did we eat that much? And I would go home because being pregnant, and I would be sick, sick, like not just a little sick, but like the meat sweats kind of sweat.
Yes.
Sick, like you're just like,
Do
oh,
they have sushi?
what did I do? No, back then it was like it was on. I was eating the meat and everything back then.
Yeah.
That was,
I say it's not real sushi unless it has tentacles.
Then
Then it's
Oh.
authentic.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
authentic. That's
Yeah.
pretty authentic.
Yeah. So
So,
I don't know. I mean, we just go back to the sugar thing. I mean, or the candy thing.
Yeah.
Full of sugar, right?
mhm.
I think that like I don't know. To each his own. I personally just feel.
Oh,
I personally just feel that the whole
Let's see.
thing with kids eating an overabundance of sugar. I think that it's something that we need to like steer kids to like realizing They're like, okay, this is just your period of time. This is okay now, but it's not an okay thing every day.
Right. Is it okay?
Yeah.
The pressure washer guys?
Yeah.
Is he done?
No, they said they're closing our doors. They don't want all the water coming in.
Oh, good.
I'm so happy we're going to have a clean building.
Our building's getting cleaned, y'all.
Isn't that
as
great?
we speak.
Yeah. And you know what? We're getting it painted too.
Oh, we are?
Yes.
I saw paint on the back of his shirt.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
so he
getting
was
it painted. It's going to be pretty. We're super excited.
Yeah. It's going down.
Oh, someone worked at Red Lobster. I can't see their name.
Victoria works there. Is that her?
I don't know. It's all blue and weird.
Oh.
Oh, there we go. Rachel.
Hey, Rachel.
Rachel Diaz?
Yeah.
Our yogi? What? Yeah.
She was she was holding up the lobsters doing yoga poses.
Right?
No. But yeah, so I mean, it boils down to, I mean, like, you know, enjoying the holidays, letting a treat be a treat, but not being like something like an everyday thing. And there's some kids who eat candy every single day.
Yeah.
It just is.
That blows my mind.
Like, there's no rules, no restrictions.
Or the fast food every single day. Like, you know, I will admit to you, like, before my husband and I had got married, there was a time in our life where we were both working like crazy schedules, long schedules, both of us at our jobs. And so we would take turns picking up the fast food at night. Like, we would not hardly ever cook.
Wow.
And, you know, you guys tease me about my sugar-free lattes.
Yeah.
Hey, I was, like, into the frappuccinos, the big ones. I had gained 64 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was before I was pregnant with Joseph.
Yeah.
So, and I remember sitting at my desk at work, and I am not, you guys are going to crack up. I would sit in my desk at work, and my lower back would hurt, and I would be like, why does my back hurt? But it would hurt to stand, it would hurt to sit. Yeah. I literally, my butt was so big that I had a line across the bottom of my back that was like a permanent, like red line from just the pressure of sitting.
Wow.
I was so miserable all the time, and then Friday would come and we'd go gorge at Red Lobster,
yes,
gorge at this place or that place, you know. It was just like one day we looked at each other like, we gotta stop this.
Yeah.
Like, we feel horrible.
Yeah.
You know, for me, size 16.
Wow.
That's big for me.
Yeah.
That's big for me.
That is big.
16 what?
For your frame?
For my
your
frame.
frame size? Yeah.
Yeah, that's really, that's big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really uncomfortable, like just getting
up.
What
do you mean 16 what?
Size
16 pants. Like for me, like for me, for example, like I'm 5'6", and I've actually tipped the scales at like 210.
So women's clothing just has one set number. It's not like 35, whatever. Like
they're a little bit different.
Yeah, a little bit different. Yeah, so yeah, my thing is like, you know, 210 for a taller guy might not be so bad, but for me being 5'6", I can't do it. Lala's got a smaller frame. Mm-hmm. Being a size 16 in your frame is like probably painful on you.
It was painful on me. My joints hurt. Like you don't sleep well at night. Can't get comfortable in the bed. You can't move.
So what are you now?
Hey, you want to talk about thigh burn? I did not wear no dresses. That was not going to happen because I would have rash from. It was just very uncomfortable.
That's why you whip out the Vaseline.
So bad. It was just bad. I was just so uncomfortable. Yeah. I hated it, and it was so hard to like go back in and start working out.
You know,
what size are you now though?
I fluctuate.
Can you ask me?
No, it's for a reference, though. Because I have no concept of what sizes are.
So, from a 2 to a 6.
Wow!
It just depends on the. It just depends on the brand. And you ladies, you know what I'm talking about. Brands, you know. So different brands are different ways, you know. Yeah. So yeah, and I fluctuate still that good little 10 pounds. Like, you know, like last year at this time I was 149 last year.
I'm proud of
and
you.
I've lost maybe 13 pounds.
See, there's no excuse, people.
So everybody's weight fluctuates, but you're not supposed to fluctuate 64 pounds. Yeah, like that's a lot.
Yeah, there's somebody right now who is a size 16, you said? Mm-hmm. There's somebody right now who's a size 16, and they're probably thinking there's no hope, but look, you did it, and so anybody.
But so there could be somebody who's a size 16, and that's really not that big for them either.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, relatively. Yeah. So it's not the size, but there could be somebody who's overweight.
Right. So if you're tall and you can carry that and you have a bigger frame, then that'd be great. Like my sister-in-law, she's a really tall girl. She could be a size 16, and that's like perfect for her. So it just kind of depends on the person. But for me, It was too much.
Yeah.
That was too much for me.
Yeah.
And it was because of all the fast food. It was because of all the sugar, lots of sugar. Like those frappuccinos were calling my name every day, and not just one a day.
So you had the salt from the fast food and the sugar.
Oh yeah.
You know, and a lot of times, and I don't think people get skewed. Like being overweight is not necessarily the biggest indicator of being unhealthy, because you can be super thin and still be unhealthy, because it's like it's not what's necessarily shown on the outside, but what's going on the inside. And sometimes what you don't see is what sneaks up on you. So it's important, like just like, hey, don't use health, based on like what you see on the outer body. You really got to think about like, what's on your plate.
I've known plenty of people who have had like heart issues, had a lot of health problems, and you would look at them and say, well, they look really thin, like they're like that skinny fat. They call skinny fat. So, but their insides are all, that one. I always had that. You always have that friend, I don't know, like that's always been able to eat anything they want their whole entire life, and then when they get older, they still haven't gained weight, but they got health problems. You know what I mean? Because they still eat all those high fatty foods and the sugar, all the sugar,
and all that stuff leads to like low energy. You don't want to do nothing. It does affect your personal life.
Absolutely.
Eating like that, like you just don't feel like doing anything. Like I said, like we had like the last round we were talking about like sex and relationships and fitness. And like when you're compiling eating a bunch of like high sugar food, type food or processed foods, you don't have the energy. Your body doesn't function correctly, and so you don't feel like doing anything, and it does affect your love life.
64 pounds overweight. I want to sleep. Don't touch me. I just ate all that food. I just want to roll over and leave me alone. And we would be just like, high five, good night. He is feeling the same way.
And then like our kids, like we talk about like focus, right? If they have like so much sugar in their diet, that's just what they eat. It's like, how do you expect them to focus properly in school? And then, like, let's say, like, they are doing well in school. Think how much better they can be doing in school if they had a better diet.
That is true.
They give them, like, a poor diet, So you just got to, like...
Because not only will it help you out mentally when you're, like, really healthy, but then on top of it, people get bullied a lot just because of their appearance on top of that. And then that's stressful, that's demotivating.
They do.
And it's like...
It's a vicious circle.
So it's all the way around.
So, you guys, I have a challenge.
Let's do it.
Well, it's not a challenge. It's a challenge for me. Like, I'm going to need you guys to help me. You guys can help me, too. This is my first year in forever being vegetarian at the holidays.
Oh.
So my mother is all ready, like, well, what are you going to do for Thanksgiving? Like, she's, like, a little irritated with me. Like, you're vegetarian. What are we going to do with you? Like,
eat the stuffing.
Yeah, right? So she said, I want you to bring a side dish to the house, and it can't just be some vegetable. That's what she said. So, but I don't want to tell her how to cook, because the stuffing is going to have chicken broth in it or turkey,
Now, you're not going to do what they did on Everybody Loves Raymond, where they had a whole tofu turkey.
No, I'm not going to do that, but I am going to need, you guys, I'm going to need support. Like, I'm going to need help and ideas, like, for some recipes, some things that I can take to the family dinner that everyone's not going to be like, oh, that's gross, and I have like a big tray of it and I have to take it back home because nobody ate it.
Right. I don't know, because I don't know what tastes good. I don't know what tastes good without having meat in it. Me personally, I'm a carnivore.
I know Rose is awesome. Maybe
like that rice cauliflower that she makes and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So good.
That's the only vegetable.
Yo, but have you had it though?
Yes.
No, have you had Rose's?
I haven't had Rose's.
Okay, I don't like cauliflower. I'll never eat cauliflower. I was eating that. I didn't even know it had cauliflower in it until he told me.
For real?
Yeah.
But she's kind of awesome the way she cooks.
Yeah. She is amazing.
Have her help you make that dish. She should come over to your house and make that dish with you.
Rose, I'm putting her to work.
I know, right? Sorry, Rose, we're making plans for you.
We're making plans for your meal.
Thanksgiving, you're at Lala's house,
right?
so you know.
So yeah, my mom's already like, well, what are we gonna do? The whole family's coming. I was like, oh well, I'll bring a side dish. I'll bring like vegetables. And she was like, can you bring like a real side dish though that everybody can eat?
You can never go wrong with macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't eat that.
Can I tell you what you're not allowed to bring? Green bean casserole.
That's my husband's favorite.
We remember that commercial where everyone brought green bean casserole.
Oh, yeah.
That's such a stereotype. Never bring that again.
Loves green bean. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like it. I do not. Maybe it's because it's got that cream and mushrooms.
It's because you have the wrong people cooking it.
But you can make a vegan base. Well, I guess the rest of the part one. That's not true macaroni and cheese though.
I don't even want it if it's fake cheese.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you know
come on, just stop it. Give it up. It's just a day.
I don't even want it. So I'm gonna have to get creative.
Her stomach will be all.
You guys help me. Please help me.
Yeah.
Because
Y'all
I want.
know. Y'all know.
mean, what I eat at home and I cook, I like it.
Yeah.
But I know they won't like it. I know they won't. So ideas. I need lots of ideas. And I know I'm not the only one, because I know there's a lot of people they've chosen to go vegan right now, who are in the gym.
Yeah.
Or they're just changing their eating habits right now because they're in the challenge. So
hopefully they keep up with it.
Right. Don't fall off just because of the holidays.
I got it.
It's one day.
You save the Halloween candy, and that's vegan, right? Then you use that.
You're bad. You're
Yeah.
bad.
So, anyways, you guys can sound off. You tell us what you think about your kids having candy on Halloween, and how do you guys keep them from going buck wild, or do you let them, like Skylar, eat 50 pounds of candy? So glad you have kids.
No, but it's only one time a year, and they have to still be healthy and work
it
out.
covers the whole year for them.
Right.
No.
So, anyways, we'll let you guys sound off on that. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up and start. I got a workout schedule. I got to get back. I got to get on that gym floor and go work out till y'all get here tonight.
All the kids with the Facebook accounts, say who
ready.
you agree with more.
We got to start preparing for tonight's fun night.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll see you guys at 6:45 tonight. It's going to be fun. Can't wait. And if you're going to do the potluck with us, bring a dish.
Yes.
Don't
please.
be cray. Don't come over here without no dishes. Shoot, we got to contribute.
That's
All right. Everyone want to say
Bye-bye,
goodbye?
guys.
Say
Bye.
see you later.